Welcome to How Now, the podcast where we talk about how to live in the now. And here's your host, Kim Martin Raymond.
Peace and blessings, love and light, and welcome to another edition of the How Now podcast, where we talk about how to live in the now. I am your host, Kim Martin Raymond. I'm a minister, spiritual life coach, author, and founder of Redefining You, LLC, where I help my clients to realign themselves, mind, body, and spirit. So I'm glad to be back from my trip to Haiti and having an opportunity to talk about some wonderful things that are going on right here in the States. You know, one of the things that we've been seeing a lot of is entrepreneurship. People who are transitioning from corporate America, looking to set their own schedules and to pursue their passions. And we've seen some of those opportunities be successful, and we've seen some of them be trying, but we're here to talk, to keep it real today and talk about what entrepreneurship looks like, you know, for African American women, for all different types of people who are looking to possibly go into entrepreneurship. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and have a candid conversation today. And I am being joined by this beautiful spirit over here. She is a dear friend, someone who I've known for quite some time. And at this time, I'm going to ask her to introduce herself, and then we'll dive right in. All right.
Well, good afternoon to each and every one of you. I pray blessings upon you all. My name is Cassandra Walker-Phillips. I am a minister of the gospel. I also am an author, just like my girlfriend right here. I also own a business. I'm an independent paparazzi consultant. So, of course, that means we are independent consultants. So we have our own businesses. Even though we're under the umbrella of paparazzi, we all are independent owners. All right. I also have a business called Cassie's Classy Creations. All right. I started that in 2015, I believe. All right. Because I was doing bracelets and stuff like that. You know, that's what kind of got me on the road to entrepreneurship, because I worked for the city of New York for 15 to 17 years, and I got hurt on my job. So several times. And as I prayed and asked the Lord, I was like, Lord, I don't want to work for anybody anymore. I want to branch out for myself, because people weren't doing me right. Let's just be frank about it. They weren't doing me right. You know?
Right.
The procedure, the way you're supposed to go for a job was not going that way. Mm-hmm. But I just got to a point, I was like, Lord, I can't stay here no more. I just gotta go. Right. And through a series of accidents, that's how I ended up out of the mainstream of working for somebody else and into doing the entrepreneurial thing.
Right. Well, like I said, first of all, like I said, I'm glad you're here. You know, it's great for you to join us and to, you know, talk candidly about this topic, because, you know, there are many reasons why people decide to go into entrepreneurship. You know, and one of them is like your case exactly. You know, you had an injury on the job. You know, you came off the job and you just made the decision that, you know, this is not necessarily for me. You know, and I think there are quite a few people out there who get to a point in their career where they just say, you know what, I'm just not sure if this is fulfilling. You know, there are too many, you know, opportunities for me to, you know, to harm myself, or you know, you have jobs that you know, can put people on disability for the rest of their lives. And that's not necessarily the quality of life that people want to have. And so, you know, like you said, making that decision to step out is something serious, because you have to be able to sustain yourself. So one of my questions is, when you got to the point where you were unable to work there, and you decide to start your business, were you did you have funds to start your business at the time?
Well, actually, yes, at the time I did. It just so happened because of an accident, I had I had gotten a small settlement. So, that's what allowed me to start my business.
Gotcha.
And what I wanted to say to anyone that is wanting to start a business, you do some of the businesses like the one I started, which was with $99. Some of them may be a small startup fee,
Right.
but you have to have money to pour into the business. All right, because you're going to need other things like, you're going to have to invest in more. For my point, I had to invest in more jewelry. I had to invest in the boards. I had to invest in bust. I got to invest in this and that.
Right.
All the things that make up the business.
Right.
Just like a person that is doing the cooking thing. All right. You got to invest in buying the food. You got to get those correct pots and pans. And,
Right.
you got to make sure you know how to make the meal correctly, the prepping, and
Right.
the hand washing and all that good stuff. So
Right.
a lot of stuff that goes into it. People just see the result like, oh, she's doing so good or he's
Right.
doing so good and this is so fabulous. But most people don't see what happens behind the scenes.
Right.
All of the nights that you are up and going,
Right.
and the money that you have to put out, far as vending and getting new venues and stuff like that. People don't see that.
Right. Right.
And it takes money. Believe you me.
Yeah.
They may tell you, okay, you can start with as little as $10, $100, $50. But you need to know you have to have I want to say avenues
Right.
to get to a certain place.
That's
because
it.
if you do not have them funds or backing, because sometimes some people are fortunate enough where they can walk into a bank and and the bank will give you a credit card to start your business and stuff like that, but you have to also be careful with that too, because a lot of times that's a pitfall that a lot of people don't realize. Oh yeah, I got a credit card, and then as you're buying all the stuff to get into your business to help it flourish and stuff, now guess what? You got to pay that back.
Right.
And if you're not making the sales and stuff, you're not getting the support. You're not making the sales. You're not doing.
Right. So look, like I said, we're talking right now about the process. Even if we scale back to the beginning, just like you said, you had the settlement money that you had. And your expectation was that, okay, I can, get things started. I know I need a couple of things that I have to have, but even before you could step into that bank, I'm sure you had to have a plan. They talk about business plans and things like that. Were you able to write some things down before you started? Or did you just say, well, I have this money. I know I need these things. I'm just going to get these things.
The latter, just like you said, listen, I just took it and ran with it, and unfortunately, some of us are like that. I just took it and ran with it, not realizing, because unfortunately, some of us live in the now.
Right.
We're not looking at 5-10 years down the line,
Right.
And then you realize like, whoa, wait a minute.
Right.
I'm putting out so much, when a lot of us don't weigh the pros and cons before we jump. Some of us are just like, okay, well, it's water. I'm just diving in. And you're not realizing you're at the 3 feet into the pool, not at the 10 foot.
Right. And just like you said,
and sometimes you dive in at the 3 foot and boom, you're okay.
Right.
But It, okay.
Sometimes it doesn't work.
Sometimes you realize, wow, I jumped. Oh no, I needed to be over here at the 10-foot before I did this.
Right. And I mean, and you know what? And I say that because that's exactly what happens. Sometimes, you know, in our haste or in our excitement, or we're told that we have a great idea and hey, that'd be awesome. You know, I think about my own business when I started coaching and people are like, you just make a great coach. And I was like, okay, yeah, what's a coach? And I had to go and look up and find out what a coach was because I really didn't know. I didn't really have too many points of reference. So I tried to go and look online and see what that was about. And then I was like, okay, so is there something, what do I have to do to be a coach? Do I have to take a course? Do I have to do things? I had to go and ask the questions. And when you talk about, okay, starting a business and you talk about, okay, this is something that I want to do and I'm excited about it, you have to write it down almost, because what happens is, like you said, if you don't have the money to get all of the startup things that you need, and you feel like you need to go to the bank to go and get that information, they're going to ask you, well, where's your business plan? What do you see your business doing? What is your business going to be doing? And so you have to be able to answer those questions. You have to be able to say, okay, what is my business? How is my business going to flow? Am I just doing sales? And then when you talk about sales, okay, so how are people going to know about it? That's marketing. You may have to bring somebody in to talk about your stuff. You can tell your friends, hey, I'm selling jewelry. And you're like, oh, that's great. And just like you said, a company that's already established like Paparazzi, you may be able to say, okay, they give you some tools that you'll need, some marketing things that you can use. And that's wonderful. But for people who just, are saying, I'm making jewelry and I need to sell it, how are you going to market it? So there's a whole lot of things that go on, like you said, behind the scenes, and some people just dive in. And if you need money, like right now, you're going to dive in and start swimming quick because you're going to need some residual income to come in. You're going to need money to come in, not just residual, but I mean, just money to help you to be able to function in your day-to-day, to pay your bills and to do everything else that you need to do. Those things are going to pop up. And then it's like, now what? But just like you said, you dived in and started your business and got some of the supplies. Now, did you have to go and take out a personal loan?
Actually, I got a business line of credit.
Okay.
That's what I did. But like you were saying, like you said, you had to do the research and this, that, and other. But you know what? A lot of times we ask questions, but is it the right question? All right. Now, see, that's another thing that you need to, search and, because we can do research and just scratch the surface.
Correct.
Instead of getting all the way, be like a dog, how he's digging, they put that bone for lean times.
Right.
A lot of us just scratch the surface, okay, but the bone is still uncovered,
That's right. That's right.
We're not going all the way down.
Right.
And burying it because lean times are coming.
That's right.
The dog know, okay, well, I put the bone there. Let me dig that, now he's going all the way back down in there to get that bone out because now it's lean times. I ain't eating, things is going on. I'm like, whoa, I got to go back and get that bone.
Right. Right.
But that's what I'm saying. That a lot of us some of us scratching the surface, but then you got to realize too, some people have a lot of support and some of us don't get that support.
That's right.
And then so many times now, that you're not getting the support. Oh, well, okay, I'm gonna start this business. Oh, I know my mama, but my sister, this one. Okay, now, yeah, they will support. All right, maybe buy a couple of pieces, to get you on the road,
Right.
So now you're like, yeah, then you're like, okay, well, I got new. I'm showing, and they're like, that's nice.
Right. Right.
Now, I got more than enough. I don't need no more. Now what?
Right. Right. And that's a big point that you bring up because it also depends on the industry. It depends on what it is that you're selling. It depends on the demand of what you're selling. And so just like I'm sure prior to COVID, you may have had some customers that were a little more consistent because people had money and they were just like, okay, I'm going to buy your things. And as you mentioned as well, your family, your friends who are telling you, oh, this is a great business. Yeah, you should do this. Or, oh, that's a great product. Yeah, you should do that. Then they come, they purchase it. And then they're like, okay, well, yeah, I mean, I only got one neck. How many necklaces do I need? I only got 2 arms. How many bracelets do I need? I got jewelry hanging off the back of doors and I got all kinds of, honey, I got more jewelry than I should have. I'm one of them people who'll be like, yeah, I still need a few more. There's still a couple more pieces that I need. But you have those, like you said, who will say, well, I've got all that I need. So now I supported you and now it's going to be a matter of, okay, so who's going to come in behind you? How are things going to continue to flow, once people get to this? And then the pandemic hits. And then you have people who are trying to hang on to the money that they have. And they're just like, oh, I really can't do it right now. Or you have those people who are your friends and family who just think that they're supposed to get a discount on everything. And you're like, I'm trying to make money. Not
Girlfriend, we ain't even going there. We're not even going there. Because I'll tell you, I have to honestly say, I have had more fights with people about that. Oh, how are you going to charge me taxes? Baby, I have to pay taxes. So, hello. What do you think? I'm just buying it and they like, don't worry about the taxes. No, it don't work like that.
Okay, delivery, all kinds of things. Yes. There are so many costs that come along, especially with selling a product and then having to ship that product to people. And I'm sure that you, as other people have experienced, have had difficulty with shipping and things getting to people on time and stuff getting lost and having to rely on the postal system or any of the other major, delivery companies to get your product to the people in time. So there are things that go on behind the scenes with that. And then they want the discount and you're like, okay, but who's going to pay for that discount? The person who's trying to make money.
Well, I tell you, that right there was a sore point for me, especially like during the pandemic, because that the postal, UPS, FedEx, all of them, it was just, everything was so backed up.
Right.
And not only that, as we were ordering from the company, I mean, they were like a month, 2 months behind. Wow. Because of course they get the items from China. So the shipping from there to here was what?
Right.
And then you have people like, okay, where's my stuff? Where's this? I have no control over who's sending what where. And you have people angry.
Yeah.
I mean, just like, where's my stuff? This, that. I have no control over that. But see, people are not trying to hear that.
Right.
All right. Just like I try to tell people when I have to charge taxes and stuff. Listen, sweetheart, I have to pay taxes. All right. On everything I buy.
Right.
I'm paying taxes. Y'all need to understand. I can't go in the grocery store. I cannot go in Home Depot. I cannot go in Key Food. I cannot go in BJ's, Costco's, wherever, and don't pay no taxes.
Right.
Because when I go up to the counter, they tell me I know I added up myself. I know it's $30 and say 50 cents.
Right.
Now, when they add the taxes on, okay, now it's $40 and change. I can't tell them, no, take the taxes off. I'm not paying. That's too much.
Right.
Can I do that? No.
No.
So how are you going to ask me? Oh, well, why I gotta pay? Why is it so much? Hello.
That's what it is. That's what it is. And I think that's something that's important too. People have to realize that we're providing a product or a service. and we expect to be compensated for it, just like you said, at any other, brick and mortar store or any other place where we order things from. It's the same concept. You are supposed to pay taxes, or you're supposed to pay for the product. So, you want to make sure that people understand that. And then you have to be tactful in how you tell them that, because you don't want to lose customers. But just like you said, people will do things to anger you. And we have to be careful about how we speak to people, so that way we don't lose that customer or their potential referral. So, when you started having issues with people like that, I mean, it's all about relationship building. So I'm sure, for you, you had to, people just who know you and know your character were able to say, okay, I understand. So how did you kind of deal with that? Like, was it just a matter of just, them being able to deal with it because of the relationship that you had?
I would say yes, because like you said, you have to word it in a certain way, not to offend the person.
That's right.
Even though I'm sitting here offended that you would even say anything to me like that.
Right.
But you're absolutely right. You have to, take a deep breath and, just stay in your mind, Lord, please help me, because you know what, right now, I really want to tell this person something, but
Right.
you know how that is. But I truly believe, you definitely have to watch how you work, or your tone.
Yes.
Let's just say it like that.
Yes.
You have to watch your tone of voice as
Right.
you are speaking to the person. But like I say, I do try to explain it to the person, that the shipping is backed up, or this is backed up. I've even had people where I've mailed stuff out to them, give them the tracking number and everything, and they tell me, oh, I didn't get my package. I didn't get the, and at first, I was really feeling bad about it, but now, then I'm like, okay, I'm finding myself sending them more stuff. Now, at a loss to me,
Right.
because I felt bad about it. But then, as these things happening, but I had to actually, put in when I send an invoice, I actually had to put the little, how they say, thank you for purchasing, right, and blah, blah, blah. Right. I had to put in there that once I turn the package over to the postal service, right, I am no longer obligated. It's not on me anymore. Right. Because I sent your package out. I gave you the tracking number. Now you have to deal with the post office. Yeah. Because I found myself packing, and these couple of times, a few times, it wasn't just $5 or $10. Right. This was over 100. Some was like 80. Right. And like I said, I felt so bad that I was actually giving, and then when I realized, I'm like, are you stupid? What's wrong with you? When I'm thinking about it now, this is double what right. I have lost now. Right. They're gaining, but I'm losing.
Right, right.
So now
you have
when I have to,
yeah, I was gonna say, it's like that whole thing where the customer's always like, you're trying to satisfy the customer, you're trying to keep and retain the customers that you have. So yeah, you're gonna be like, wait a minute, I'm sending stuff out to satisfy you, but just like you said, it's at a loss to you. It's at a loss to you.
Yeah, so. And after a while, I just said, I as I see more, I'm just putting out more and more and more, and because bottom line is, you get into business to try to better your life. Right. Okay. So that was my whole big, actually, most people say, well, why did you join? Why did you start? And quite honestly, I have to say, I really didn't have a why when I started, especially with the paparazzi. I really didn't have a why. I just, I had found myself driving from well, you know New York because you've been here long enough.
Yes.
I found myself driving from Queens all the way out to Long Island and I'm going 2 or 3 times a week. Like what?
Wow.
I'm saying to myself, I must have fell and bumped my head or something. But so one time going, the person says to me, you know, you could join and do this yourself and get a discount. I said, discount? What? Honey, you know, the antennas was like,
right.
What? For real? That right there just grabbed me. Okay, come on.
Right.
We gonna do this, you know. But it wasn't, I did not get into it to be selling to anybody or building a team or anything like that. I didn't get into it for that. When she said discount, boom, that was
it.
You know, because bottom line is that with it only costing $5 and I can get a discount. Hello.
Right.
Why wouldn't I want to do that?
Right.
When I'm going 2 and 3 times, I'm driving from Queens to Long Island to go pick up jewelry. Now, and I'm like, okay, I'm adding up
gas and time.
And I'm getting 5. Like, wait a minute, something's wrong with this here. You know, so I'm like, okay, I could save myself aggravation on the southern state, okay? Save me some gas, all right? And get a discount. It was a no-brainer.
Right.
So, you know, and then eventually I was like, okay, well, since I am doing this, why not, you know, I might as well just try to sell it.
Right.
You know, and like I said at the beginning, you know, I had the family and friends, everybody, you know, everybody helping out. And then as you see, it started diminishing, you know, and like I stated before, oh, well, you know what, I got enough. Now I ain't got no room for what I got and this. And I listened to the people as they said, girl, I got bins of this and I said, you don't, if you're not a person, if you're not a consultant, you don't know what having a lot of jewelry is.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I look at my own personal stash and I'm like, I gotta get rid of some. You know. So you know. So, but eventually I went into that because as I did the research, like you said, you know, because first I just dove in because it was discount.
Right.
And then as I started realizing and kind of moving towards selling and become, you know, and actually reaching out and selling to other individuals.
Right.
That's when, like I said, I started doing the research and stuff like that, and you know, and getting more into it.
Right.
Then it kind of started coming together. But in the first place, like I said, I just dove in. It wasn't because of selling it to anybody. It was just discount.
Right.
And then eventually it became selling to other individuals. All right. And then I was like, well, maybe I can get a few people to join me. Because as I researched and I saw what was going on, because every 20th of the month, they come out with a list of bling bosses. This is what the people are called. You know, these are people that are established, that have massive teams and stuff like that. Every month on the 20th, there are people, they come out with that list of people that have made 6 figures every month.
Wow.
A month.
Wow.
Okay. And as I'm seeing this, I'm like, really? Wow. And I see it all the time. So, you know, it's not like, you know how when people say, oh, girl, I make 6 figures. Yeah, right. You know how we do.
Right.
You know how we do. Girl, you ain't making, stop lying.
Right.
That's the first thing most people are going to say.
Right.
You know, but I see it every month because I see the emails with the names. All I got to do is open up the email and see every name, the whole list of people every month that is making 6 figures.
Wow.
And that's when it's kind of clicked. Like, you know what? I guess you do need to start talking to people and see about building a team.
Right.
You know, but I mean, bottom line is with a team, it's not going to be hunky dory, because you know what? You have those people that, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it, and then they will join, buy the kit, and that's it. They do nothing.
Right.
Okay.
And I know, and that's a difficult component too, because now you're talking about bringing someone in and they have to have the same drive and the same zeal or the same commitment into doing what it is that you're doing, or things that you're selling. And you're just like, okay, I need for you to jump in and build things up, because as you build things up, that builds things up for me. And so it's a domino effect. And so,
exactly. And and I try to, well, first and foremost, like I always do, anybody that asks me, I tell them the ins and outs. I tell them, I make sure you know the ugly side of everything.
Yes.
Okay. Because so many people are looking at this, oh yeah, oh girl, look at that. But they're not saying, really? That's what they're not looking at, the hurdles they got to jump to get to the other end, because you got to realize there's a starting line and a finish line.
Right.
Okay. But how you running the race in between the starting line and the finish line makes all the world a difference. Yes, and I always try to tell people, because I've had so many folks that told me, oh yeah, I'm going to join, I'm this, that, and the other. And they bought the kit, did not even attempt to, oh, I don't want to go live. Okay. And like I tell them, you don't have to go live. All you got to do is put your jewelry on the table, take the camera, and just go like this. Never once do they need to see you.
Right.
All right. Also, you go, oh, I ain't talking, I'm an introvert, I don't want to talk to nobody. But listen, you go to work every day, you got to talk to people on your job. If you work, okay, you got to talk to people. And I mean, honestly, Kim, a lot of times when you put on like this pair of earrings here, just look at how gorgeous those are.
Right.
I put them on, I don't have to say nothing. Be like, oh, I like your earrings.
Right.
What did I have to say?
Right.
All I did was wear them.
Right.
And somebody said, oh, I like those. And then that gives me the opportunity to go in my bag and say, girl, you know what? I got a pair just for you.
There you go.
Earrings, hand them my card, and let them know that there's an opportunity attached to this. And if you were ever looking for another stream of income, give me a call.
There you go. And there you go. And that's the thing. It's also when you're talking about entrepreneurship, it's like, is this going to be my main source of income, or is this going to be supplemental? Is this going to be something that's just going to give me that extra money on the side that, so I can do other things? And that's important too. And I think that when people are talking about entrepreneurship, they have to make that decision. Like you said, you have to decide, is this going to be something that I'm going to be doing, as my source? This is going to be what's going to pay the bill. Right. Or is this going to be something that I'm doing on the side? And again, like you said, what's my why behind it? And if you're just saying, well, I just wanted, and I love that you were transparent about that. You were just like, I just wanted the discount. Then when you saw how the people were getting the money, and you saw how some things, it was providing a little bit of a steady income for you, then you're like, hey, wait a minute, let me check this out and see if this is something that I can do long term. And just like you said, it's not for everybody. And that's the big thing. When you start talking about entrepreneurship, there are a lot of decisions that have to be made. You have to decide whether this is something you're just going to do on the side, this is something that you're passionate about, or this is just something that you want to do just for a certain length of time. Just, I want to use this to help support me in getting to a point where I can purchase a home, or where I can have extra savings to purchase a car, or whatever it is. Just like you said, there's a start and there's a finish. What's at the end of that finish line? What is it that you expect to see at the end, or what do you want that end result to be? And I just love that you just said, it's about being real. And it's about saying, well, this is what it is. It's not always easy. You'll have people who are excited about helping you out, and then all of a sudden they're not. So, it's just a matter of looking, engaging, and seeing how it looks. So with that being said, how is your business doing now?
Well, to be frank, it's picking back up a little bit. Okay. It's not where it used to be. Because
Right.
I understand that because we're still in a pandemic.
That's right.
And people are still, a lot of people are still afraid to go out their house.
That's right. That's right.
They don't want to gather in crowds because I tell you, honestly, for me, I was doing more with the vending.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So now, because people are still, people are still leery, and I don't blame them.
Right.
Because I know a lot of times when they talk about, oh, well, let's go, it's going to be this, that. I'm still leery, even though I went and got the vaccination and all that,
Right.
but I'm still leery because,
Right.
I don't want to be like people are going to football stadium and stuff. I ain't trying to do all that. I don't want to be around that many people.
Right.
I could, I don't mind going into certain clusters, you know what I mean?
Right.
Where I would say maybe 50 to 70 people, but nothing like thousands.
Right. Right.
Because right now I'm still not comfortable with that.
Right. Right.
I can do something out in the open, or what I mean?
As things are opening back
So,
up. Yeah. And then, like you said, you're still doing your lives and what have you as well to help
yes.
to sustain things. So like I said, it's just being able to figure out that game plan. What is it that you're going to do? Especially, when you're talking about a company where everybody is selling the same thing. How do
Yes.
you differentiate yourself from everybody else? How do you, make sure that somebody buys yours and not the next person's? And I'm sure that that's all about relationships too, And if you're not out there and letting people know what it is that you're doing, you're going to be hard pressed to find people who are going to, be able to come into that and come into your space and say, okay, this is what I want. This is what I need. We have to, make that establishment. So, like I said, my ultimate prayer is that, your business continues to build and that, it provides those things that you want. But we wanted, like I said, just to scratch the surface a little bit about entrepreneurship and what it looks like and the questions that you ask yourself. Is it going to be something that is long-term for me? Is it going to be something that is short-term? But there are a lot of things to consider. Is it a dive in for you, or is it something that's going to be a little bit more structured and something a little bit more, this is the need, and this is the need that I'm trying to fulfill, and those things are going to be important. So, before we wrap things up, I do want to ask you, as I ask all of my guests, what are you doing in this now to just be able to relax, or just to be able to operate in this space? Because I know it's hard for us to cope in this pandemic and its continuation and all of the twists and turns that are coming along with it. How do you deal with that?
Well, first and foremost, a whole lot of praying.
Yes.
Okay, that's number one.
Number one.
But thank the Lord. I'll tell you, honestly, I just got to say, thank the Lord that we are individuals and that there's nobody like you.
That's right.
Okay. See, so that in itself is a blessing, that we're not all alike. Okay. And we're going to attract whoever we're going to attract. Some people are going to be, just like, oh man, Kim is the best. Oh my gosh, I just love her, and which I do. I just love her style, I just attracted to her. And then there's going to be those that we don't attract.
Right.
That, what, maybe you're too brassy or too bossy or whatever, because everybody got an opinion, but bottom line is, who cares? Okay. Because since we keeping it real, right?
That's
okay.
right.
And as I always tell everybody, what you eat do not make me go to the bathroom. So it's okay. Whether you like me, but I mean, even Jesus told us, all right, everybody didn't like him. Everybody don't accept him. But you know what? He still died for everybody.
Right.
Because he knew there were going to be them people like, he knew that. And that's the same thing for each individual, all of us. It's always going to be somebody turning their nose up at you, that who she thinks she is, and it's always going to be somebody that does that.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if it ain't putting no food on your table, no clothes on your back, no shoes on your feet,
right,
and ain't putting a roof over your head, it does not matter.
Right. Right.
But I just deal with it. I mean, I'm just taking it a step at a time. I just keep praying and asking the Lord to do what he does best.
That's it.
That's all I can do, and just ask him to just direct my footsteps. Where do you want me to go with this? Where would you have me? And as I see people, Lord, what would you have me to say, or how? But I just want to represent you.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, I just want you to see the Christ in me.
There you go.
That's it.
There you go.
Am I going to rub somebody wrong? Sure.
Right.
Is somebody going to rub me wrong? Darn skippy.
Right.
But,
right. I just love that. It's all about, like you said, just being an individual, just being you and being comfortable in your own skin and not being so affected by what other people do. That's wonderful in creating peace, creating peace for yourself, because you're not so confined by what other people make of you or try to say that you are. And that's something that's key. That's what's going to help us to be able to operate in this space, because we have to be able to rely on ourselves. And just like you said, your relationship with source, with God, by whatever name you call him,
right.
That you're able to just go in and just ask for guidance and to seek that peace. And that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful way to live in this now. And so, like I said, before we go, I want people to have an opportunity to know how they can get in contact with you if they're interested in your products and just wanting to know a little bit more about just keeping it real, because that's what it's about in this now. Tell them how they can get in contact with you.
Well, on Facebook, my name is Cassandra Walker-Phillips. On IG, I am Queen of Queens Bling. Also, you can visit my website, queenofqueensbling.com. My ministry name on Facebook is Thank You Lord Ministries Incorporated. I have a page there. I also have a page that I do my lives on, which is Queen of Queens Bling LLC. And of course, my book.
Yes.
Which is called I Need Help.
Yes.
Because I don't know about y'all, but I need help.
Yes. And so if you are interested in purchasing her book, I Need Help, Heaven's Eternal Love and Paradise, you can contact her to get your copy. She gives autographed copies. Mine is on its way. And so I'm excited to be able to dive into that as well. So it's wonderful things that we're doing. Like you said, there are many avenues to get us where we need to go. And so sometimes those avenues consist of, making sales, of being an author, of being able to minister to people in different aspects of their lives. There are many ways that we can go about getting to the destination that is set before us. And so with that, I would love to say thank you so much, Cassandra, for being here with me. I love you. And I thank you for your transparency, for your authenticity, making sure that, you keep it real, because people need to know that, everything is not sugar coated. There are things that are going on in this life that are far from perfect. And the more that we realize that, the more that we realize that we are all the same. And that things like, things happen in our lives, and we think that doesn't happen to anybody else until somebody speaks up and says, yeah, it happened to me too. That's how we connect. That's what connects us. And that's what, keeps us motivated to keep going. So again, I thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I
Yes,
truly-
honey. Yes. And I wish you the best and all blessings to you. And, hold up New York for me. I'll be around soon. I know you got
it, my
me.
dear.
I
And
know
when you come here, you bet, please let me know you are here. Please, I would love to see you and give you a big hug.
Yes, yes. So we will do that. Okay. And that will do it for this edition of the How Now podcast, where we talk about how to live in the now. And until we see you the next time, we say peace.
Peace and blessings.